April is World Autism Awareness Month. Autism doesn't affect every person the same way. Whatever skill your child is struggling with, Autism Therapy Services can probably help, from learning basic daily life skills to managing frustration and getting school-based support. Board-certified behavior analyst Jamilah Rahim and community liaison Irina Ruiz share how Autism Therapy Services can help your child overcome some key hurdles. Hi.
Hi.
This is such a tough one for so many people. I have a couple of friends who have children who are autistic, and the crazy thing is you don't know what to expect. Even doctors don't know what to expect. We know early intervention is certainly critical. Your background, Jamilah, you previously worked as a special education teacher. So you realize what schools can do and what they can't do. And I think a lot of parents are caught off guard because they think you take your child to school and they'll take care of it.
Yeah, definitely not true. And we are here to kind of not only provide ABA services, but help parents also walk through that school process. So, you know, a lot of parents walk in, IEP meeting, child just got a diagnosis, they don't know what to expect, right? So our job is to also help them walk through the process, to let the staff know what the child's needs may be and how we can help facilitate that.
Yeah, and there are some obligations for public school, but again, that obligation doesn't mean the full gamut of everything. And so, you know, backing up a little bit, the thing with autism, there's no cure, the cause is unknown, awareness is growing, which is good, but you know, there are challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, communication, all that stuff can be very time consuming, but you can kind of shave off some of those difficulties because early intervention is key.
Yes, early intervention is very important. And I think across the board, every professional in the field agrees with that. Doctors always push parents to partake in early intervention. The sooner we can get in there and address those skill deficits, the better off the child, the family will be.
Yeah, and Irina, your background is you want to be a child psychologist, and you understand how this is one of those things that affects everybody, no matter what language or race you are. And we know in Houston, the most diversity in the country, you're having to be able to negotiate and talk to parents who speak different languages, and y'all are working on that.
Yes, so we are actually very pleased to announce that we're going to be offering services now in Spanish and in Urdu. So for me, my role, I kind of like to tell myself I'm a jack of all trades. I have a little bit of everything, but mainly as a community liaison, you know, we are really trying to push for not only giving services in different languages, but the main thing to just be able to make it feasible for everyone. So obviously the end term is for us to no longer have services for them because they're independent, you know, the parents have been able to implement the interventions that we're giving them, but it's not feasible to ask them to do so in a language that's not native to them.
Yeah.
So
and you can feel very isolated when you get that you know, diagnosis, and you feel like nobody out there understands, and you all do. All right, let's go through just kind of a list of some of the services we're talking. Even potty training, things that are just life skills that can be very difficult to communicate to someone with autism, but you can get them there.
Yes, so the great thing about ABA is that we address everything. I think what makes Autism Therapy Services a little different is the bilingual aspect, but also the toilet training, the food toleration, the sleep training, the parent training, and that IEP support that we talked about.
Yeah, you say parent training because sometimes, you know, I've spoken to a number of parents, sometimes stuck in their head is, you know, you're looking at this child that's got their, you know, 10 fingers and 10 toes, and you're like, it's hard when it's the brain, right?
Yes.
Because things can look, and I hate to use this word normal, but things look a certain way on the outside, but what's being communicated or how they communicate, you have to stop as a parent and look at who is sitting in front of you to get the most out of them.
Yes, absolutely. And I think out of all aspects of ABA, the different things that we address, I would say the parent training is the most important because obviously our goals as clinicians is to get in, give the kid the skills that they need, and get out and have the parents take over, right? We don't plan to be with them the rest of their life. So that has to be probably the most important aspect of ABA.
Yeah, okay, getting the child enrolled.
Yes.
What do you go through? Like when somebody says, okay, I'm in, what's the process?
So the process is first to go through the insurance, right? We have to jump through those little hoops.
Well, the nice thing is if you have insurance, that's great, right?
Yes, and now Texas has, Medicaid has picked up ABA, so that's great for families too. And so we kind of start with an assessment, we move into like a clinical intake, and we start services probably in like 2 weeks. It moves pretty quickly.
Wow, it does, yeah. And so you start to see the growth, and you have lots of success stories. There's one you wanted to share with us this morning.
Yes, so my first client actually with the company was a little kid. He was about, I think, 3 when I met him. He was in services for about like 2 years now. He was fully nonverbal when I met him. Not a lot of skills, and today he's going to school. He's talking in 5 to 7 word sentences. He's potty trained. He is just killing it. He is amazing.
And what is it like to watch the parents when that child starts, even the simplest of words like mama, daddy, right?
Yes.
Making that connection.
Yes, they tear up and then we tear up.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Like everybody's crying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Break out the waterproof mascara, everybody. Okay, you're opening a new facility.
We are opening a new facility in Sugar Land this summer, so we will be getting the word out about that most definitely.
Yeah, and we have seen where the percentage of children who are on the spectrum has grown, and so the need has grown. So you are now hiring employees to keep up with that need.
Yes, so we're hiring English-speaking employees, obviously Spanish, Urdu. We have a lot of positions that need filled, so we can get those services to those children.
Yeah. And again, the deal is to at least get those basic life skills taken care of, where someone can be independent at some point, right? And then be able to work in an environment where they can get jobs and a whole bit, so making them whole. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know there are a lot of parents out there who are so happy to hear about where you are filling in, filling in the gaps that schools and things can't fill in, but really you are the core. And then the other things kind of bookend it. All right, to learn more about Autism Therapy Services and see how they can help your family, log on to asdtherapyservices.com. That's asdtherapyservices.com. You can also call or text. Here's the number, 832-514-3863. Again, that's 832-514-3863.